everyone! This video was recorded before I got my new mic, so the sound quality will be a little bit off. And by off, I mean bad. Hope you enjoyed my yapping regardless. Back to the video. Let's go with medium. Maybe we should go with Tails this time. Tails is so cute. Look at him. He's so fluffy.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1.
I would love a plushie of Tails. Hopla! But I don't really have a lot of space for plushies in my room. I mean, I don't have a lot of plushies. I think I have like 5 or something. I have 2 in my bed and probably 3 in... Oh, I forgot the name in English, I'm sorry, but... You know, where you store stuff. You store things and stuff and things. Well, I have 3 plushies there and a couple figurines. But my room isn't very big and there's not a lot of space to expose plushies. And my bed is very small too, so I need to be able to sleep, you know. Oops. But I would love to have more plushies. They're cute, they're fluffy. That's really all I need, honestly. But I know it's a slippery slope, because if I get one plushie from the Sonic franchise, I will want to have more. Like, if I get Tails, I want to get Sonic. Because, you know, you don't separate them, that's not right. You don't separate the fox and the hedgehog. But then, if I get Sonic, I also need to get Knuckles, because, you know, Team Sonic, you don't separate those either. But then, I also need to get Shadow, you know? Because you can't get Sonic without Shadow. and one. Maybe I'll get Rouge next, because Shadow needs his own best friend. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted and I'm not driving very well. The boat controls differently from the car and the plane, and I'm not as good at it. But I'll learn. Once I start getting leftover money, it would be cool to get a bigger merch collection, because I have a pretty small one right now. It's just another way to express that I love something, is to have things in its image. So I have a bunch of posters on my walls. I have 2 Sonic prints that I got from imprint directly from the original artists. I love buying fan-made stuff. There's something about fan-made merch that is really dear to me. Most of the time it's made out of genuine love. Like, you can see it in the way something is drawn or written, that the person who made it, they really love the original. So much so that they made merch of it, like they made pins, stickers, they make plushies too, posters, this kind of stuff. I love fan merch, I love fans. And I think in the case of Sega, especially, I think Sega really loves fans too. Because some video game studios don't really care about fans, really. They just care about the money they bring in. But, you know, Sega hire fans to make games, to make the games more enjoyable. Because they know that those are people who love the series they're working for. Those are people who know the series very well too. They're not just a random employee who's just there to do their job, which is just as valid, you know. You gotta get some money to live. That's normal. But in stuff like entertainment, a lot of art goes into it, a lot of artistry and passion, and I think it really adds something when the people who work on it really love it and know it well. You can feel it in the final product. Well, it's something you can notice in the Sonic movies actually. Movie adaptations of video games often, well, they're hit or miss. Sometimes they're pretty good, most of the time they're not great. But for the case of the Sonic movies, you can tell that the people who made it know the series very well. That's really important in an adaptation. They love it also. Of course, there's always the part of making movies, video games, whatever. But you need it to bring money to make more of it. That's just capitalism. But even so, you can still make something that's passionate and bring money. And I mean, sometimes something will be very passionate and unfortunately not bring a lot of money. That's unfortunate for the people who made it. If they don't earn money from it, they'll have a hard time making another thing. Because making things costs money. So, you know, you make things in order to earn money, in order to make more things. But I think people can tell when something is made with love. Especially nowadays when you have like 50 different Marvel movies, which are clearly corporate stuff that is only there to get money, honestly. There's not a lot of passion in those. And more people are getting tired of those kinds of movies, and other media too. Well, it's clearly just there to please a majority. But in doing so, it doesn't please anybody because it's too bland. It's not interesting. So doing something that has more passion, it's a lot riskier. But I think people appreciate that. They can tell that it's made with love because it's more interesting. I think we need to keep making weird things. Things that may not please everybody, but that will please a specific kind of audience, I guess. I mean, if you make something that's entirely corporate, maybe it will gain some money from people who are bored and don't know what else to watch or to play. But if you make something that's passionate, even if it's really weird or makes no sense, except maybe for you, people will remember it. And I think in art, everything that's artistic, you need to be remembered. Because if people forget your art, they forget the artist too. I have a very specific way of looking at it because, you know, I draw a lot, I write too. Not as much, but I do it. And I've been doing it since I was a kid, you know. So this kind of stuff, it's a bit part of me. And I think I like what I make to be remembered. So I want to make weird stuff that people will be like, oh, that's definitely something Amki made. Because that means people will remember what I made and by extension, they will remember me. But not me the person, me the artist. I don't necessarily want to be remembered as a person. I don't even know if it's a common way of thinking for creative people. I think it'd be nice to be remembered as an artist. Because creative people, well, they put a lot of work, time, effort, and even money in the things they do. And of course, it's not about the numbers, but it's about appreciation. It's always nice to be appreciated and knowing that my work could influence someone's life positively, you know? Even if it's just because it made their day a little better, because, I don't know, I made a funny doodle, or something I can't motion on YouTube that made their day better. Sometimes it's just simple stuff like that, but you know, I think it's a nice thought to have.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1.
Got the boost. Well, the way the boost works in this game is different from Mario Kart. In Mario Kart, you get the boost if you start boosting at the right time. So I think usually it's when the announcer says 2. Like, you know, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, I don't remember the order. But when it gets to 2, that's when you should start boosting and then you get a nice boost. But in this game, it's just random. Either you get it or you don't, so you have to try a few times. And sometimes it fails, well, you saw, it failed like 3 or 4 times before I got it. But it's fine. Well, the glare, I can't see anything. It's super pretty, but I can't see anything. It reminds me of when I drive back home from school and stuff, and the sun is starting to set. And in theory, it's super pretty, but when you're driving, it's hell. Because you can't see the road, you can't see the cars, you have to be super careful. And that's how I got my license. The day I got my license, it was early in the morning, so I had the rising sun. I couldn't see shit, but I got it somehow. I failed 2 times before that with normal sun, but once I got the rising sun, I got it. Sometimes, you know, it just be like that. Nice. I never played this game, but I love the aesthetic of the main character. Well, I think the main character is called Knight too, I guess. But they look super cool. Oh, it's a flying one. I don't think you can just miss every single boost attempt. I don't think... At least it never happened to me. When I missed the boost, it's because I didn't try again quick enough. So I only tried like 3 times during the countdown instead of 5. I don't know what the maximum is. 4 or 5, I don't know. Oh! Oh, this is nice. I like Mimi because she boosts very well. Like using the boost things. Like naturally she's not that fast. Oops. But using the boost pads and stuff, she gets a very big boost. While playing Sonic, for example, he has maximum speed, I think. But he doesn't boost a lot. Which is fine, that's game balance, you know? It allows for all sorts of play styles. And when you play Mimi, it's interesting to boost a lot. So to find a lot of boost pads and stuff. I don't know what they're called actually. Boost rings, maybe. Oh. I'm doing two things at once, and I'm not used to speaking and focusing on something at the same time. Usually when I focus, I do it quietly. But there's a first time for everything. And that's why I'm making those videos. It's to go outside of my comfort zone in a way I can control, you know? So it's not... I'm not doing something that will like make me miserable or stuff. I'm doing this because I want to try something different. Like to teach myself new skills, for example. I know making entertaining videos is a lot more difficult than people think. It takes a lot of skill being able to just make a video more entertaining than just, yeah, I'm playing the game, by the way. In this video, for example, I'm not sure people will watch it for the gameplay. I'm not sure people will watch it at all, to be honest, but that's fine. It's for me, and if people like it, that's nice too. Oh, I'm third. Good. Maybe it isn't very fast, so it's pretty good that I got third, especially since this level doesn't seem to have many boosting pads and rings. And of course, the first two ones are Sonic and Metal Sonic. I'm not surprised. The fast boys.
Location unlocked.
Dream Valley. Nice. Next is Chili Castle. I don't know what game this is from. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. I've never played this one.
3, 2,
Granted, I don't think I've played most of the games featured in this game, you know. Which is something I plan on changing. I like Sega games a lot. I know it seems weird since I said before I didn't have many games growing up, so I didn't play many games. But out of all the games I've enjoyed the best in my lifetime since I was a kid, the ones I like the most tended to be made by Sega. So you could say technically I was a Sega kid. Like one game I really loved that I had on the GameCube was Phantasy Star Online, the third one. You know, with the cards and stuff. I thought it was a very interesting gameplay mechanic to have cards that could summon weapons or creatures. Like most games, I wasn't very good at it, but I loved playing it. I've had so many hours of game time on that game, and I don't even remember what the story is about. It's interesting to use a card system. I know a few other games do it, but that's the only one I had, so that's my frame of reference. But also, the graphics, I've always found that Sega games have a very nice art style. They all have different art styles, but the way they're designed are very original, I guess. I really like the way they design things and characters and stuff. Like Phantasy Star Online has a more realistic art style. The outfits, the characters, the style, faces, stuff like that. I don't know. There was something about it, and also the music. The music. That's really a Sega staple. The music is always super nice. I should think to use my items more often. Since I'm yapping, you know, I don't use them as much. I forgot I have them. And then I'm like, man, why am I not getting new items? And then I realize it's because I already have an item and have had it for the last 30 minutes. That's just how it is. Oof. Right. You know, you can't always be a winner. I should replay Fantasy Star Online 3 again. It's really funny because before I started paying attention to how the game was meant to be played, I just won every fight. I made my decks based on how pretty the cards were, and then I just won everything. Didn't matter what side I was on. I just won every time.
Get ready.
But then I grew up a little, you know, and I started paying attention to stuff like strategy, and then I got really bad at it. I got worse. I was just like, no, I don't care about the rules. I'll make my deck pretty, and my pretty deck will kill everything. And it did! So maybe I should do that again. Make a pretty deck, and then win everything. I'm using my phone as a mic, which is why I'm probably very quiet. So I think I changed the levels a bit so that you can hear me better. But basically my phone is connected to my PC with a USB cable, and it's acting as a mic because Bluetooth headsets just aren't that good at doing both things. Like if you're just using it to listen, it's fine. But as soon as the mic turns on, the quality becomes dog shit. Like, not only the recording quality, but also like the listening quality. It's super bad. It's awful. So I disabled the mic from my headset because it just ruined the quality too much. And it was easier to use my phone in a really weird way as a mic. It works. It's not a professional setup, but it does the job. Sanctuary Falls, I know that one. Another Sonic one. I don't remember what game it's from though.
Get ready. 3, 2.
Because I've seen that level in Sonic Frontiers. So I recognize the level. But I don't know what game for sure it's from. Probably one of the earliest ones, maybe? It reminds me a bit of like Angel Island, so maybe it's from the game that has Knuckles' first appearance? I have no idea, man. I'm a fake Sonic fan, I'm sorry. But I'm learning. I probably won't make videos about Shadow Generations because I already finished the game. But maybe Sonic Generations, I only did like 1 or 2 levels. So it could be fun to do videos about that. And maybe you will all be able to witness how awful I am at the 2D the 2D parts. Classic Sonic, I don't know, there was a good idea I think between how he works. Maybe I'm just not great at using him properly because I'm not used to his playstyle. But at least when I tried, I don't know, he was difficult to control. I think I prefer modern Sonic gameplay wise. Though Modern Sonic's 2D levels, I don't know, I wish Modern Sonic had fully 3D levels, so classic Sonic could shine a little more. And the other way around too. Because Modern Sonic, I think it's a really important part of Modern Sonic that he navigates in 3D, you know? I don't know, in Sonic Generations, it's like the 3D parts are just such a small part of the game,